What's going on, everybody? I am Switters. Welcome back to the channel and a little video for you here today. Season 2 Reloaded roadmap has just been announced, and I figured I'd give you a couple of quick little updates about it. There will be a link to the Call of Duty blog that you're seeing on screen right now. So if you want to read through this whole article in more depth, you can yourself. I'm not going to go into absolutely everything. There is quite a lot of information, as there always is anytime a new season comes out. So I'm going to skim through it, pick out the juicy parts, so to speak, and let you guys go through the rest if you want to. Probably the best part of what's coming up, and I'm kind of air quoting that, best of what's coming up in Season 2, is, hey, Snoop Dogg is now a playable character. He recorded his own lines for the game. So in Vanguard and Warzone, you will be able to play as Snoop Dogg. I believe it's a $20 bundle, so if it means that much to you, you can play as Snoop and spend 20 bucks on his character. So that's probably the biggest news coming out of Season 2 Reloaded, but let's get to the rest of it as well. All right, so you've got one new weapon coming to the game, you've got some new game modes, and you have one new map coming to the game as well. The important part really is that this will begin. The action will begin in both games. Both games being Vanguard and Warzone, following two updates. One for Vanguard at 9 a.m. Pacific time on March 22nd. That is tomorrow, as of the day that this releases. Tomorrow morning, March 22nd, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And one for Vanguard at 9 a.m. Pacific time on March 23rd. So the day after tomorrow. Here's what you can expect with Season 2 Reloaded, presented by Sledgehammer Games, Raven Software, Treyarch, and Beanox. So for Warzone, Rebirth Island is getting a little bit of a makeover. I believe there's only 2 new buildings that's changing, and I think that's the only kind of new areas that there is. It'll look a little different, just color scheme-wise, I think, but for the most part, it's basically the same. Rebirth Island reinforced. Perseus' reconstruction of the island significantly altered several points of interest, including Stronghold, and added a new one known as Dogg. 3 modes given new life: Payload, Blood Money, and a new Resurgence. Solos mode will be featured in weekly playlists alongside classic Rebirth modes. Get weapon blueprints, tons of XP, and new features. The Rebirth Reinforced event offers rewards for the entire community, including weapon trade stations and in-game events for Rebirth Island. Nice little view of it there. With 2 ships docked in harbors, a stronghold completely revamped, and the prison yard developing underneath the iconic and repainted water tower, this is Rebirth Reinforced. Stronghold revamped. As the lowest lying point of interest with a few multi-story buildings, and security area may not have been the most popular drop spot on Rebirth Island when it was first introduced. However, with Perseus' blah, blah, blah. I don't care about story as far as this stuff goes. They changed Rebirth Island a little bit. I don't know, how many of you guys actually play Rebirth rather than just regular Warzone? I'd be very curious to know. I think it's kind of a mode where you just want a lot more action, a lot faster games and a lot more action. So there's a couple of, like I mentioned, there's a couple of new areas on Rebirth Island, and again, link down in the description if you want to read more about the specifics of those. Just remember to download it on Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. In addition to the familiar Resurgence and Mini Royale modes, operators will be able to drop into 3 new experiences coming to Rebirth Island: Rebirth Resurgence Solos, Rebirth Payload, and Rebirth Blood Money. So a few new game modes coming to Rebirth Island as well. You can get a legendary LMG blueprint, and as we know, LMGs in this game are so broken, it's insane. So it's probably worth getting, although you could just put your own attachments on that you actually like, but whatever. Okay, over to Vanguard. A new 12v12 mode. Trek across the Alps to feature... That's the new map, by the way, is called Alps. Trek across the Alps to capture or take out bases to dominate the enemy, building your loadout with cash earned from eliminations and objective play. Explore the Alps with new vehicles. Call in motorcycles, CD-12 transport vehicles, which is a 4-person vehicle, and tanks to travel across the snow and ice between bases. Climb to the top with new rewards and ranked play. Zombies gets new covenants. We're going to go over zombies in a minute. Don't get excited. There's nothing there for it. So this is kind of the biggest thing coming to Vanguard, is this 12v12 mode. Season 2 Reloaded will bring a new large map mode to Vanguard, one that involves trekking across a snow-covered mountainside with new vehicles to build a formidable loadout. This new mode, Arms Race, will take place on Alps, the largest map in Vanguard, set in Task Force Yeti's main area of operations. Drop in across this alpine tundra, from its iced-over lake to the mountainside fortresses, and capture all bases to win. Once a base is captured, operators can choose to respawn at the base or at any other captured points on the map, in addition to spawning in on their fellow squad member. So if you guys remember when Modern Warfare first came out, I don't even remember what it was called. With the larger area map, you could spawn either back at your base, or you could, if you were teamed up with people, you had B flag or C flag or something like that. You could we have control of that. I'll just spawn at C flag and get right back into the fight a lot faster. Or you might want to spawn back in your actual spawn because you can notice that the enemy team is flanking around and trying to get into your base. You could do, you basically choose where you're going to spawn in. So it sounds like it's going to be pretty much along those lines. You're capturing different areas of the map. This is only 12v12, so I don't know if it's actually supposed to be more than that. Maybe this is a misprint. I don't know. Because again, you remember in Modern Warfare, it was a much larger scale, many, many, many more players. But who knows? We'll see when it comes out. So here's the new vehicles. We have the motorcycle, as I mentioned, the CD-12 transport, costing only a few hundred in-game cash. The CD-12 transport is a 4-seater squad vehicle with enough room for your 4-person crew. The tank, the most expensive vehicle in this new mode, is arguably the most powerful, as it's the only one to come with built-in weaponry. It is more durable than the CD-12 and the motorcycle. Again, you can go through this on your own if you like to get much more information, but I just want to cover the main points of interest. New ranked play rewards, ranked play skill rating restriction, and UI updates. And now here's the zombies update, which is, again, okay, so pause is now available in Vanguard, will be available with Season 2 Reloaded, will be available. Now, I can only imagine people that want to actually play Vanguard to set new records maybe are going for super high rounds. And I don't mean getting to around 100, because I think that was unbelievably easy on the Shinonuma area of the map, and you could get to around 100 in an hour. It was a very, very short amount of time. But if you want to go for set some new records and get some super high rounds, 500 and whatever round, maybe 935 for us zombies players, 935, right? So in order to do that, it would take you days to get there. Well, now you're thinking, well, okay, they have finally added pause. I mean, we're 5 months into the game and we're excited. Maybe they want us to be excited that they've added pause to solo play. Well, they have added it, but, and this is a huge but, it's only for a cumulative pause time of 2 hours. So what does that mean? So let's say at round 5, I got to get up and go finish, refill my iced coffee, right, in the kitchen, and then I come back. So I've taken 5 minutes of time to go do that. Well, that 5 minutes comes off of the total of 2 hours that you have to pause. So now you only have an hour and 55 minutes left to pause. You go to the bathroom at round 23. That takes you, 10 minutes because you really had to go, let's just say. Well, now it's a total of 15 minutes because of 5 minutes for your drink, 10 minutes to go to the bathroom. You only have an hour and 45 minutes left of pause time for this game. So if you're going for super high rounds, unless you don't plan on sleeping, you can't do it still. It doesn't really, so this update, it kind of doesn't matter. If you're playing just, to do, I mean, if you're doing the Easter egg, so-called Easter egg, on Vanguard Zombies, then yes, I guess it could be helpful. I mean, it still will only take you a half an hour, 45 minutes to do without doing that. So you shouldn't need to pause. But just in case you get a phone call and your mom's yelling at you and she says, hey, you better have the dishes done by the time I get home. Okay, well then you can pause and go do the dishes real quick and come back and finish the game. But other than that, it's not very helpful at all. It's just not going to be. They also added 2 new covenants. You got critical expertise, which just adds a chance when you shoot a zombie in a non-critical area, it has a chance to count as a critical hit. If you get the rare, epic, or legendary, it goes up in percentage chance. So you have 10%, 20%, 30% chance. Explosive expert, it does explosives do more damage to zombies and does less splash damage to you. That's it. That's all of the zombie stuff. So just for me, just stop. Give up on Vanguard zombies. Just give up. Stop. It bothers me now because they're giving us BS little micro bits of here's this thing. It's not a real game mode. You need to stop pretending that it is and just admit to us. They still haven't come out and just said, hey, you know what? We didn't even give you a game mode. So if you bought this game for zombies, like a lot of people do, you got completely hosed and taken advantage of. And we apologize for that. It's never going to happen, but that's exactly what they should do. Anyhow, that's it. And then really, again, other than that, there's not a ton to go. Like, there's some little details, and there's the new gun that's coming out. It's an SMG. Really, the things are people will want to try this new game mode, I think. They'll want to play as Snoop Dogg, and I mean, that's kind of it. So there's the new 12v12 mode. It does kind of sound fun, but again, it sounds exactly like, again, at the beginning of Modern Warfare. I don't know what they called it. It was like Big Team Battle or something along those kinds of lines. But those were a lot more players in that. So if this is such a large map, 12v12 is not that big a deal. So anyhow, again, link to this article down below so you can go through all of the fine details to your heart's content. Again, remember the downloads for this Vanguard, Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. The following day, 9 a.m. Pacific time is the Warzone download. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Exo Zombie stream of all.